Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make and use hard molds. And keep in mind that I'm going to make a flexible mold video too, and the flexible molds are very inexpensive and cheap as well. But for those who don't have that option or don't have the certain material used, you can do this option. So yeah, so today I'm going to show you two examples of how to use hard molds, and like two ways to do it, and also how to make them. So here I have this cupcake base mold. I recently got some cupcake erasers and other cakes and stuff that you'll see in my erasers video that I'll be uploading, and this is the one that I molded it out of. Now keep in mind that this is not perfect. This is why I like doing my flexible molds better, but for those of you who don't have that, this is a good option. And I'm also going to make a video on how to make cupcake base molds without an Iwaku eraser, like without an eraser. There are certain ways that you can do it with household items, so yeah. So first of all, I'm going to kind of explain to you how you make the mold. Like, I have a couple of hard molds here. You basically take whatever item you want, cover it with baby powder or cornstarch. This is actually cornstarch, pure cornstarch. So this just has aloe, vitamin E, and fragrance, but it's pretty much the same thing. And yeah, so you just cover the item that you're going to mold in the cornstarch and just put in just a little bit on top of your clay itself. And make sure your clay is in a balled form so that it comes out a little more evenly as you want. And then you just press it in and remove it. And there you go, you have your molds, and then you just bake it for how many minutes it takes. Usually according to the package of your clay. Or you could let it air dry if you have cold porcelain, but if it's cold porcelain, then make sure that you know that it will become smaller when you dry it. So it will be just slightly smaller than how you made it. So as to using, aren't these, I don't know, I just made these really quickly, so they're really disgusting looking, but they do the job, I guess. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do it two ways. So yeah. So here I have the cupcake mold, and all I'm going to do is take this baby powder, or cornstarch. You can use cornstarch if you don't have baby powder. And I'm using this mat here so that I don't get it on my table. But basically you're just going to have it in there and sort of put it like around the edges, like how you do if you'd melt caramel in a pot to make flan. I don't know if you've ever made that before, so that's kind of a bad example. So it gets all over the thing. Now there's sort of an excess, and it'll get on your clay. So all you do is tap it off, and you can see that there's a lot tapped off. And now it kind of leaves this dusty film, like, I don't know, it looks dusty inside, and that's what you're trying to get at. So now what you're going to do is get your nicely conditioned clay and roll it into a ball. So you have something like this, doesn't have to be perfect, and just press it in. Now what you're going to do is pretty much take it out. Usually it should come out by now. Yeah, there you go. But if I need help sometimes, like for cupcake bases, I just kind of like pinch it in the middle and remove it. But this is pretty much the cupcake base we have. If you add just a little more baby powder, then you can remove it easily. However, if you add too much baby powder, it can get on your clay and make it look dusty, and it won't be able to come off that easily once you bake it. And it can also get your clay hard, because baking powder is a drying substance. So if you put it in your clay too much, it'll make it hard and just not nice to use. So usually this is my second option to things, but I don't know, if you'd like to do this, you can. I usually use baking powder when I'm making the mold itself, but that's just my preference. And yeah, so this is the baking powder method. I'm just going to wipe this to the side. And the second method is using water. Now, sometimes the baking soda method doesn't work, or sometimes the water one doesn't work. It just depends on the day. But yeah, today I'm going to demonstrate how to do the water thing with this and some piece of scrap clay. I'm not going to make it too like detailed and nice, but as long as you get the idea. So what you're going to do is basically dip your hand in the water and then put it all over your creation. You can also dunk it in the water, but I just find that you don't want too much on there too. And keep in mind that you can't do this with Fimo clay. Fimo clay actually reacts to the water and becomes sticky. And that's like, if you've ever seen the Dizzo's Poor Man's Clay tutorial, that is pretty much it. You mix it with water. But Sculpey doesn't react. So usually when you use Sculpey or some other type of polymer clay, it should be okay. So yeah, this isn't the best mold either, so keep in mind that it won't be right, but I'm just trying to show you that it could capture the details easily. So yeah, just put it in water. Now take your clay. This is kind of hard to condition, but make sure it's pretty conditioned, and just press it in there very tight. Now you have all this excess, right? You're just going to like pretty much saw it off, like cut it off. Because you only need like this amount. You only need the amount that will fit in there correctly. And you just cut it off and then you just put it back in. So that gives like the perfect amount that you need to use for the certain item. So just gonna add a little more water on there and push it in. This was a lopsided mold, so that's why it's not too well, but yeah. One moment, please. So now that you have something like this, it's oddly shaped, but you get what I mean. Just kind of play around with it. It should be easy to remove, just like that, and you have your little gingerbread man. I think this is a gingerbread woman, actually, but you get it. So yeah, these are just two ways to make molds, sort of, and more like use them. As you can see, I put this as an example because I made a mold out of the chocolate bar I made by hand, there will be a tutorial soon that I'll link here somewhere. But yeah, so as you can see, it's all like brown and stuff, and that's because I use my chocolate Fimo, and the Fimo reacts with the water. So yeah. So I hope you guys all benefited from this tutorial. I don't want it to know that it'll be a waste. And keep watching for the flexible mold tutorial because I'm making that pretty much right after this video, just because I'm like on a roll here, and I really want to get some of the videos I promised you done, and tutorials are coming up soon too. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and yeah, bye!